Justice.
What is going on,
I'm going to
everyone?
serve the justice. I am justice now. Is this the DC podcast?
Nah,
Is this the DC podcast?
nah.
That's awkward.
Yeah. How's it going, Oliver?
Ah,
Oh, it's Alex. Never mind. Okay.
whoa. Look at me. I'm the Green Arrow.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Wars in the Stars, episode 3 of our movie reviews. Today, we're going to be reviewing The Eternals. I went and saw it today, as did Alex. I was at a Boston College football game Friday night, so I couldn't go. Look at me.
I never go on Fridays.
Yeah, I usually go on Fridays, but yeah, anyways, we're going to talk about The Eternals today. We're going to break down the post-credit scene. We're going to break down just our overall thoughts of just the movie in general. We'll start with my co-host first. I'll ask him how he's doing, of course, and then Alex, I want you to give your just overall general thoughts. So go ahead.
Well, I was doing fine. I was almost concerned I wasn't going to miss the movie. But basically, I was supposed to go with my dad, but then he had some stomach bug and whatnot. So not only was I worried about him, being able to function properly, but I was also worried that like I wasn't gonna be able to see the movie and whatnot. Which, like, I guess, yeah, priority should be straight there for my father's health, but like, hey, good. Yeah, Drew, how's your day? How you doing?
My day's been pretty good, man. I went to a BC football game, Boston College. Shout out them. They won yesterday. They're about 2 hours away from where I live, so it was a long day, a long night. And then got back home and I went and saw The Eternals at about noonish today. And I'll just say it was a long movie. But yeah,
Felt
and then
long. It felt long.
it did. It definitely felt long. But we'll get more into that later. And like I said, Alex, the floor is yours. Just give your overall thoughts, man.
I'd say quickly before we go into the movie, because I have to really break down parts of the movie for my overall thoughts. I would honestly say I probably like Shang-Chi better, but I didn't hate this movie. There were some not questionable things that they did, but some unexpected twists that happened that kind of were just like, well, that happened. Okay. Don't know how I feel about it, but it happened. And I also want to say, I just got back from the theater like 2 hours ago, so the movie's a little bit more fresh in my head. So, Drew, what'd you think about that going too far into it?
Overall, I really enjoyed this movie, man. I mean, I think it's a borderline or maybe even in my top 10 of the MCU. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the best MCU movie this year. I still think Shang-Chi is better. But if this is the direction the MCU is going to move forward in, I'm totally fine with it. Just the visual differences and just the overall vibe. I never felt once like I was watching an MCU film, which I thought was a very different and overall better experience. I felt like I was in this magical, mystical world. I never thought once about the Avengers. If this story was set in a totally different universe, you didn't need to know really a thing about the MCU before this to watch this movie. And I overall really enjoyed it. And I think Chloe Zhao did a great job. I can kind of get how this movie got a 51 on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But for me, the movie just worked. It hit. There are some things I have complaints about, but I think there's a big 8 of the Eternals that really worked for me, and overall really positive. So, Alex, I want to go to you. Give me something like just that stuck in your head that just very much stuck out to you that you want to get away right out of the gate. That will be our first topic.
Harry Styles is in the MCU.
Okay. Okay.
Oh boy, what a decision to put him in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go ahead, because you, before we started, were a little bit more vulgar about this than I was.
So yeah, I just want to preface this. I knew about this for 3 weeks. I knew that he was gonna play Eros or Star Fox or whatever the hell you want to call him. It was rumored for a long time Harry was going to be in this movie, and turns out he was. And he's playing the brother of Thanos out of all people, which is sticks to his comic origins. Um, he's still an Eternal. It's weird. I just got to see how it plays out. I'm really excited to see what they do with him in the future, and I'd really like to explain if he had any type of relationship with Thanos at all. Um, and then we got I don't know who it is. Is it like Pit the
Pip.
Pip? Yes, yeah, that little guy. Yeah, I'm really excited to see those two. I'm excited to see like where that kind of goes.
Well, here's my thing with that post-credit scene. You know the little effect that was happening at the end of Venom Let There Be Carnage? I thought
Okay.
that what was happening.
Okay.
And we were about to see another one of the heroes from one of the Spider-Verses for some reason crossover.
Okay. That would have been
As
weird.
dude, people were saying Shang-Chi was gonna somehow connect to this movie, and whatnot. So I don't weird is not in this movie's alley, or isn't so far from this movie's alley. So yeah, I mean, it was an interesting post-credit scene. Yeah, it was just weird to see Harry Styles in the MCU because
Yeah, it was.
the question is like, um, you know, do you think that the MCU actors are like in the MCU? If you know what that means, like, do you think there's like a Gemma Chan or a Richard Madden or a Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth? Do you think they exist in the MCU? Because how are you really going to try to tell me that Harry Styles does not exist in the MCU?
Maybe. That would be really funny if they did something with that. Um, but yeah, just to give my further thoughts on that first post-credit scene, it's so they call him the Prince of Titan, which is
Yeah,
it's nobody left.
I guess so.
How could he be the prince of a planet that has no people left?
Which honestly, this movie worries me. By the way, because you know how many
Okay.
people defend Thanos in his actions. This movie gave more fuel to that fire. That what Thanos did was right.
Absolutely. And if they go even further and say like, yeah, Thanos straight up knew the Celestials' plan, uh, and he wanted to make sure that they never fulfilled their plan,
Yeah.
then people would be like,
I
yo, Thanos
also,
was right.
you know what I found really interesting about the movie was the opening crawl to the movie. Very weird that it had an opening crawl. It felt very Star Wars.
Yeah, and that's something I want to add. This felt more like a Star Wars movie than it did an MCU
It
film.
really did. It really felt like this was a Star Wars movie. It felt like if
Which
you would have replaced almost any one of Thena's weapons with like a lightsaber, Kingo's with the blaster and whatnot. I mean, come on, this is Star Wars.
totally.
Which,
Yeah, and
oh yeah, you go ahead.
I don't know if you saw this, but when Richard Madden's Icarus is in Fasto's house, the book he picks up is a Star Wars
This is a
book.
Star Wars, but
Yeah, just so funny. And then they have a Superman reference 2 minutes earlier that
no. They
that's
have a Batman reference. They have a Superman reference. They got
yeah,
Star Wars references. Like they got everything in here, bro. They were really playing up the like DC Easter eggs. Like I wonder why
I don't know why. Yeah, it felt odd.
it
Yeah,
did,
it did.
but there is something like about this movie that again I think we can talk about this a little bit more. But man, I don't know about you. Standout character of this movie, by far, there's no doubt about it, was Icarus.
Oh, of course. He was the
There's
best. He's my favorite Eternal.
absolutely just the just we see his reaction when we first learn about Ajax's death. Which, by the way, I thought these bitches were immortal. Guess they weren't. Um,
She could save others from dying, but not herself.
not herself. Um, yeah, it was like really weird that I'm sorry, we're jumping all over the place. Before I get into that, I want to talk about that opening crawl. I like how they said the Celestials came before the Infinity Stones,
Right.
which like
Correct.
also in a sense doesn't make sense because without the Infinity Stones there can't be life.
Yeah, but there's still okay. We get a lot of answers about the Celestials, but at the same time, it's still like really vague.
Also,
Like,
by the way, I'm sorry, this movie, I know the Celestials were supposed to be like a bunch of like really big bads and whatnot. This movie added more fuel to the fire. The Celestials are a bunch of bitches. Like, Ego went out like a bitch. And what was his name? TARDIS or whatever? Went out like a bitch. Got
Tiamat.
whatever. Got frozen in marble.
Right, but I don't think he had any power at that point. He's just
I
being
mean,
born.
my man was like destroying Earth. Which, by the way, bro, Earth is just getting everything done to it. Like everything. Let's think. This movie takes place in 2024. They're coming off a year after the blip, or after everybody comes back. Um, Peter Parker gets his gets revealed as Spider-Man. There's just some fucking marble celestial in the Indian Ocean all of a sudden. The multiverse is now open with Spider-Man No Way Home. Gore the God Butcher is about to come onto Earth. Um, we don't even know what's going on right now with Doctor Strange. This is all in 2024.
We don't know what's going on in Wakanda or in Atlantis either, which is nuts.
Yeah, which is what the fuck is going to happen in these next few years. And again, that's not even to mention we still have things like Hawkeye coming up. What are the implications of that show? Miss Marvel is still happening apparently. Depending on how excited you are, Morbius is happening. Like,
right?
What is going on in the MCU right now? And why could DC never do this?
So
I'm just like,
so what is the Celestial's aim? Arashim?
Arsham?
Arsham?
Hold on.
It is Arsham. Arsham.
My gloves are. I can't type with them. Let me take.
I'm pretty sure it's Arsham. Yeah, it is Arsham. Yes, and then the other Eternal is Tiamat, or the other Celestial is Tiamat.
Yes, I don't know how to say the red guy's name. Which, by the way, what a scary image seeing his face at the end of the movie. Oh my goodness,
dude! I love what they actually did with him at the start, where they just showed like his face. They like every time Cersei or Ajax would talk, it was just his face, and literally, then we finally.
I think this movie really showed us the scale of the Celestial, which also kind of makes us question what the fuck happened with Ego? Why did he become a planet of all things?
Right.
And honestly, this also goes to tell, oh my goodness, if Peter Quill would have stayed a half Celestial, don't even get me started. My man would have bodied almost any Avenger in a fight.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like he would have bodied all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think this movie really showed us the true like scale of the Celestials. And also, I don't know, this movie feels very not retconny, but like I don't know, because like we're told that the Celestials are basically like above gods and whatnot. Like they can do crazy things, but then we see one in Guardians of the Galaxy using the Power Stone to destroy a planet. And it's just like, well, then what? They can literally just like destroy the planets from inside out.
Right.
So it's just like, why do they need Infinity Stones then?
And there's one born every 1 billion years, I believe Arsham says. So I wonder like how many are out there like just roaming around, and like it seems like Arsham didn't actually go to Earth. Like he sits somewhere and just like opens this like portal thing.
It looks like he's like near Mars and whatnot because they go through the asteroid belt.
Yeah. I don't know, like it horrifying image, just terrifying.
Yeah. Could you just imagine being some random person, not even near Cersei and whatnot, and you just see these 6 red eyes appear from Earth, and then you see this like this red black hole form and just disappear.
Yeah.
What would you do? And also, I feel like this is like the 1,000th time I've asked this question. Where is Doctor Strange during this? Is Doctor Strange just like sleeping during all of this? Like, what is happening? Like,
Yeah.
especially when the Celestial is coming, I don't know, out of the planet and whatnot. Where is he?
Well, yeah, like ideally all the Avengers would be like, yo, we gotta check on what's
It's
going on here.
my whole thing, and I always tried to say this. Oh, maybe Strange can't do portals. No, he went from planet to planet like that. That man could, in theory, literally go anywhere in the galaxy.
This is why the MCU just needs to get off of Earth. They need
Yes,
like as many
because
superheroes.
it's bringing it so confusing to know where is Strange? Where's Captain Marvel? Where's Thor? He's on
Right.
Earth during this time. Where is Captain America? Where's Bucky? Where are
Right.
these people? Now, granted, would they have done anything? No, but still,
Wanda.
she's
Yeah.
like kind of just got
She's
over enslaving a town.
right. Well, she still could be like, yo, the planet's about to blow up.
Which let me ask you, who do you like if Wanda was there in that fight?
By the way, this is a what if I want to get. What if Icarus succeeded?
Yeah,
And
and stopping Cersei.
yeah,
That would have been scary.
and
I
all
also,
of Earth blew up.
yeah. My whole thing is like, what if Wanda and Strange and Captain Marvel and Thor and all of these very powerful beings, what would have happened if they were there for this fight?
I
Do
don't
you
think
think
they're killing a Celestial.
I'm okay? The Guardians of the Galaxy defeated a Celestial.
Right, but it's well,
If the Guardians of the Galaxy can defeat one, Mantis helped defeat a Celestial. Come on now.
Drax. Yeah, that's
Come on.
well.
I think if their chances of beating a Celestial were that high, then I could easily see Wanda soloing a Celestial, Thor, Strange,
Right, but
Marvel.
but then I could make an argument that like Ego's the weakest Celestial because of his form.
He's
I
a
know he was
planet.
I know he's a planet, but like he's still
Which
not as
could you imagine if the emergence happened in Ego?
so a Celestial kills a Celestial.
Yeah. I also like, by the way, Marvel is cruel. Did you know that? Marvel is a cruel thing for making us relive another character throwing someone off a cliff. That is
Right.
awful. I legit gasped so hard. I was like, what the fuck? Like
Which
I still can't get over Natasha's or Gamora's. Then they're like, bye Ajax.
I'm gonna be honest, when Ajax was dead, I'm just like, okay, I don't care.
I had
I
a for some reason, bro, Icarus's reaction to Cersei, or not Cersei's, Ajax's death sketched me out from the beginning. I was just like, okay.
yeah, and that's kind of a conversation about to segue into now. So like let's talk about Icarus because he's the standout. Richard Madden,
Kill
fantastic
it.
job. Fantastic job. Um so would you call Icarus a villain?
Yes, he was fully on board with 7 billion people genocide.
I'm gonna
It's like,
disagree, Alex.
what?
Alex, let's think about this here logically. Listen, he's not a villain. He's just carrying out his purpose, right? So his purpose is ultimately to help create more life, right? That's in theory, right? So let's say the celestial, let's say the celestial comes out of the earth blows up, right? 7 billion people die. Okay, what happens if the celestial builds another galaxy and then another planet, and this planet has 10 billion people? So then Icarus is right. But then
And,
again,
but murder is still murder. So
correct. But I understand Icarus's logic. It's not just like Anakin Skywalker, like, I just want to save my wife and I'm going to kill kids to do it. Like, Icarus's logic makes sense. He's just fulfilling a plan.
and here's the thing.
I don't think he's a villain. I don't see a villain.
But then can I also make the argument that Thanos was also in the right for stopping this because he saved 5 trillion people's lives by stopping it?
Well,
So
let
what
me ask.
so,
Well,
so let me ask you this. What comes at the better expense? 5 trillion people or 10 billion people? Well, 5 trillion people are alive. Whether, and even if that is 3.5 billion on Earth and then everywhere out in the cosmos, that's still, 5 trillion people alive. So you got to think, yes, maybe over time Icarus would be in the right. Eventually planets would be populated with 25 billion people and then 50 billion people or whatever they're are they doubling or whatnot? Who knows? But it's in the that's in the very what? I don't know, 50 billion years?
Right, but Icarus was also legit never told about the emergence until he left. Was it Babylon that they left? Or I
Yeah.
can't remember. Yeah. He wasn't told about it for like 5,000 years.
But
He was
none of the Eternals were either.
right,
That's
but he had
Ajax.
to live with that secret for 2,000 years after that. So like we have to
But,
also like recontextualize
but
this. That
here's the question: did he have to live with it? Could he have told someone?
absolutely,
Why?
absolutely. He never wanted. He could have told his friends, right? That's what he
Exactly.
should have done. It's what he should have done, but he
But
didn't. And it got to the point where it was
here's
7 days, and we got to
the
contextualize this, Alex. 7 days compared to 7,000 years is nothing. It's not going to be impactful if he just let. He should first off, his plan was stupid. He should just let the thing happen. Uh, if he really wanted to fulfill the plan. But he loves Cersei, and that's why he went back. I don't see Icarus as a villain. I think he's going to get overhated by the Marvel fandom now.
Oh no, no,
Um,
no! I don't think he will.
I think he definitely will.
Here's the thing: is I think to a degree Icarus was in the right. He was fulfilling a glorious purpose in a sense, but he had every chance to tell the Eternals what was going to happen. He
He
had,
did.
but he didn't. And you know what comes to my mind as soon as I think about that? That TikTok audio goes, "Not me paying for my own actions," or I don't remember how it exactly goes. It's just like at the end of the day, he had 2,000 years or however long it was to come up with a plan to stop it, but he didn't. That's his fault. And Thanos, again, let's go on the theory Thanos knew about the emergence and what was going to happen. Then can I then technically make Thanos out to be the hero? Because
Sure.
he knew what was going to happen and
From a
that he
certain
just
point of view, yeah, sure, yeah.
now. Granted, is that most likely what's going to happen? Is we're going to find out Thanos knew? No, no. What if even corroborates that he just thought that's what what the universe needed?
Right. But I'm also not saying like let me preface. I'm also not saying Icarus is just like some hero. I'm just
No,
saying
but
like to Icarus, like the ends justified the means. Like he's just fulfilling his destiny. What he's after all, we have to remember which these are robots basically. They're just super advanced.
synthetic robots, basically.
Right. Um and and this is another thing I want to get to. This movie does a fantastic job of having ethical questions, right? The
Mhm.
MCU kind of does it with Thanos and stuff like that, with like all of that, with like the Avengers. Should like the Avengers even exist? They do it somewhat, but this movie, it's like right in your face.
Oh yeah.
It's like, should we live forever? Should we help these people? And they do a lot to help humanity, and it also leads to humanity's mistakes. I think one of the best scenes in this movie, Alex, is when Fastos is standing in Hiroshima and he realizes like all of this technology to lead to destruction.
Yeah.
And that's this. I'm segueing all over the place here, but I gotta say, for most of the Eternals, besides Ajax and Sprite, I loved how when the movie focused on him a good amount.
No, I gotta say, easily one of my least favorite characters from this movie was Sprite, bro. I
Yeah,
found her more annoying than interesting.
I just like I didn't understand I got the part that like she was like a kid forever. Like I got that. That was somewhat interesting. But the whole thing that she liked Icarus was
Yeah,
super weird to me. It's
it's
super out of place.
it's also weird that you know I understand her thing to be a kid. She can literally make herself be an adult. We see her do that earlier in the movie. So it's just like, yeah, you're not going to be a real adult, but none of the Eternals are either.
Right.
So now the question is also, what's going to happen to Sprite? You know,
I
she was sent off to school and whatnot. She's a normal human now. Okay, is that if that is how her story ends, I gotta be honest, that is one of the most bitch endings of all time for any character in the MCU.
I wouldn't complain though, because like I didn't like her character.
I
So
would. I would complain because that takes away any time for her to become a better character.
maybe that could
Listen,
happen. Maybe that.
this is my philosophy. If I don't like you in the first movie that I see you, I don't want you out of the story. I want you to have a chance to grow. But if you're going to be a character like Iris West is in The Flash or Felicity Smoke is in Arrow, yeah, take that shit back to the writer's room and rewrite it. Like, you know, it sucks because I sound really bad considering I'm complaining about only female characters, but goddamn, they're just Sprite was just so weird. I have to also say she was easily one of the most like under-marketed characters of this movie.
Hmm.
I almost her and Thena were characters who I almost forgot completely were in this movie.
Hmm.
So yeah, also I think something that we need to talk about was this whole thing that the Eternals are branded as immortal and three of them died.
Right.
Three of them died. It's
Well, it kind of makes sense to me that the Deviants can kill him, right? Because the Deviants are apex predators, also created by the Celestial. So like that one kind of makes sense to me. But my dude Icarus just like flies into the sun.
which
Like
honestly, if you think about it, he's not dead from that. He's not dead. He can't die. He can't die unless his cosmic energy is sucked from him. Are we really going to say the sun now all of a sudden has Icarus's cosmic energy in him?
I don't need him to come back. I think his story is like I think his story in this. I think his story is beautiful in this movie. Like I
Well,
think
yeah,
it's
same.
great.
But
Like I love the ending where he's just like right there and like you see his eyes going, and then he's like, I just can't do it, and then he kills himself. What an honorable guy. Like he's like, I messed up, but I can't be
yeah,
here.
I also just like I don't know
It and the
the
Unimind I liked, but yeah.
the twist that he killed Ajax was like really weird. I don't know if this was just me. I was just again, I kind of like I didn't expect it, but I was kind of just like that was a bit of like an iffy like thought or iffy reaction to it, but I don't know. It just
Did it not work for you?
no, not really.
It worked for me.
But like a character's death who did hit was Gilgamesh's. I did not expect it.
Yes.
I was in complete and utter shock when it happened.
I love that storyline with Thena and Gilgamesh.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
I also
go
like
ahead.
at the end when that deviant is fighting Thena and he tries to like mimic Gilgamesh's voice. Also, bro, when she cuts his face in half or into multiple pieces, I didn't know what happened. I like sneezed when it happened, and I opened my eyes to this man's face falling apart. I was just like, what happened?
I'm gonna
Hold on, I'm sorry. I have to say it. Remember what General Huck said when he came back and to the supremacy when Snoke was cut in half and Kylo was like passed out, and he's like, "What happened here?" That's what I was like. I was just like, "What just happened?"
but to answer your to contest your thing about Icarus, I thought it worked really well for me because he was always sus. Like he was always suspect. Like it's like, oh, like it worked really well. It's like, why did Ajax not choose Icarus, especially if they were best friends? And like Icarus was always the one that was the most powerful and the leader. And then that line Kinko has, like, oh, I'm with you, Icarus. And Icarus is like, you don't know nothing about me. And just walks away. I felt like it really worked well for me
Yeah,
because I'm going to be honest. A perfect segue is the Deviants sucked.
they
The
really
Deviants
did.
sucked.
I'm sorry, they kind of felt
And
like
specifically, Crow sucked.
felt like
So
Drake. He felt like Dracov.
if you didn't have Richard Madden's Icarus as kind of like this villain or the disruptor, this third act would have been bad with Crow as the final
Yeah.
villain. Because
What?
The Deviants kind of felt like, oh, they're back. Yep, Crow. He wants to kill them all. You remember that? It's like that's like the third most important thing happening right now
Yeah.
in this third act. I don't care.
Yeah. Kind of agree. They kind of were on the par with like Win Wu's guys, like Death Dealer and whatnot. They were kind of on like that par. Like, okay, you look cool, but like you kind of did nothing. So, but I will also say, kind of go back to this thing about morality and whatnot. Let me ask you this: do you think Druig was in the right when he said that he wanted to take over the minds of everyone on Earth to stop the fighting between them?
Absolutely not.
You don't agree with him?
No, but he's taking away free will.
But we learned in the MCU, free will kind of doesn't exist.
Well, that is also true.
Which let me also ask you this, because I'll say this before I get some weird looks. No, I don't agree with Druig, but it is an interesting thought that yeah, technically Druig can just make them stop fighting.
Right.
Do you think that the TVA has any impact on the Eternals?
What do you mean? Elaborate. Like, can
Like
they
how?
arrest them?
Okay, no. So my thing is this. You know how like when Loki and whatnot, because he is a Nexus being and whatnot. Do you think? Because you know, Kang was able to, or He Who Remains was able to write out what exactly was going to happen. Do you think the same thing could happen with the Eternals? Do you think He Who Remains knew what was going to happen with them? Or do you
Well,
think because they're celestially created that he didn't know?
I'm gonna say just because of the Celestials that's like the oddity. Like you can't predict what the Celestials do, and therefore what the Celestials like children, so the Deviants or the Eternals can do. But you could also make the argument that it seems like the emergence always happened with the Eternals on every other planet they were on.
Yeah.
So you could make the argument that it always happened before, but this seems like it's probably post Loki, so probably post the end of the TVA,
Yeah.
that this is the first time that the Eternals were able to prevent the emergence from happening.
Which let me also let's talk about some other things with this movie. One of them was, first of all, what would you do, Drew, if there was just in one of our oceans just some random stone guy or stone statue that just suddenly emerged? What do you do?
I'd get as far away as I could.
I would not know how to react to that.
Right.
Because like here's the thing: do you think that Eternal could ever come out of that?
Oh, definitely. I think that's definitely a thing. You don't just leave him there and be like, yeah, he's just in the middle of the ocean now. Yeah.
I literally was like, oh, so is like Makari gonna go like speed over to them and like break him? Nope. They just left him.
Right.
And who knows? The thing is, if you think about it, he's just made of marble. Anyone could literally just go over there and start taking pieces of him.
And Arashim could have been like, yo, I'm taking the Eternals, but I'm also gonna reactivate this.
Yeah.
Blow up planet.
But it's all like my thing is this, okay? Talking about Icarus. He's again, like I said in the questions, he's often compared to Superman. I'm sorry. It looked really weird seeing that man fly without a cape. I'm sorry. Every time I saw him fly, I was just like, you know what would really complete him? A red cape. It felt so dirty saying that, but it is so true. They should not have made his attire blue. You know who attire I think would have looked really good on Icarus? Druigs. I think Druig in his black and red color scheme was the cleanest suit in that movie.
I liked all the costumes. If I'm not gonna lie, I liked them.
I'll say this: my favorites were Druig, Makari, and Cersei's. Almost everyone else's I didn't like.
Why not? What's
Well,
up?
first
Why
of
did you not
all,
like?
Thena's looked just awful. Same with Gilgamesh's. Um,
Really? You think Thena's? I think Thena's look clean. The
no,
white,
no, it did not
clean.
look right. Also,
I liked Icarus's outfit. I like the blue.
I don't, I can blue and gold. It looks really weird. Also, have you seen the Lego minifigure of him?
Nah,
They gave him blonde hair, and I'm sorry, that man's hair was not blonde.
no. It's like gray in part of some of the scenes.
Literally, like going through like this, it was
Yeah,
red. So
yeah.
don't know what that is. But yeah, it just doesn't look right to me. I don't know. And I'm sorry. Every time I saw that man do his laser eyes, I just thought, you know how good that would look if they were red. I'm sorry. He made him they made him too Superman in this movie. And I really hate that. Could you imagine if
I didn't feel that because here's why. Because like every time Superman's on screen, like I feel like he's just gonna win. In this
mm,
movie, like I especially that last beach fight, like Makari was beating the shit out of him, and then Fastos,
he was. Oh my, Makari. Before we get into that, Makari, honestly, one of the most underrated characters from this movie.
especially with the limited marketing, like one shot in like the trailers, like once she had
I
one
know.
speed shot.
Also, was one of my favorite things was her scream. She's a deaf person, but her little like faint yell was so heartbreaking. It felt so weird.
Right. And I love like the relationship she has with, and that's another thing I want to get into is like the family aspect of the Eternals. Like they love each
Yeah.
other. Like you could tell they love each other. Like Druig and Makari, uh, Icarus and Cersei, which is really odd to me because like the Celestials, it's talked about how they're not supposed to have emotion, but yet they all show human emotion.
Cersei
Why
was
would
trying
this
to bang Dane Whitman, bro.
why would Fastos had a boyfriend and a child. It's like,
Also, I have to also ask, where did Icarus go after him and Cersei got married? Like they never explained where he went. He just said that he had to go. Go
yeah,
where? What
right, where did he go?
what was happening? The
Yeah,
deviants for what they knew were gone. Also, the way that they came back was in such a bitch way. Oh, they just unthawed from the ice ages. Really? So they Captain America themselves? They just froze themselves? Come on, man. I thought that whole thing where the thing the shot in the trailer where it's like that thing that
right.
booms down to Earth. I thought that would have been not like a meteor that hit Earth that had them, but it could have like I don't know, it could have like awakened a deviant gene in like some animals, and that's how the deviants came in.
Right. It said it was just a celestial
Yeah.
plant.
Which yeah, also like really, come on. Like the fact this movie is literally just again, that TikTok audio, like if it isn't just me, dealing with the consequences of my own actions. That is this movie summed up. If you want like if I were to explain this movie to someone without any spoilers or anything, it would literally be that TikTok audio. Like that is it. Icarus deals with his consequences. The Celestials deal with their consequences. The Eternals deal with their consequences. Like, what is going on?
Yeah. I kind of want to segue now to like see how we did with our predictions. So just to go over some of them, I think I got some of the deaths right. I said Gilgamesh would die. I can't remember if I think I said Cersei.
Yeah,
I said Cersei.
you said 5 of them would die, and I don't think you got. I think you got Gilgamesh right. I think that was the only one.
No, I think I said only like three or four, but
I recall
anyway,
you saying that 5 of them would. No, yeah, you did. You said 4 of them would die.
it was three or four or something like that.
I also, by
Well,
the way, heard that this movie in the first day made $30 million.
it did. It's on pace to make a little, possibly hit 70. So a little under Shang-Chi, like we were kind of saying. or around Shang-Chi. Um, will we see an Eternals too? Most definitely. And that's
Well,
kind of
we got an Eternals will return, so
that's kind of where I want to segue now is where do you think Eternals 2 goes?
it's gonna be finding the other Eternals, like what
Right.
happened to them. But I don't know. I think I didn't get to ask you this when we were talking about Thanos. Is Thanos a deviant?
Yes.
He was in the comics, but we don't know if he is in the MCU or not.
Kind of has to be now, right?
I don't know because how do you explain how Harry Styles is his brother?
Who's an Eternal? Who says I'm an Eternal?
Who even has the little communicator thing with the Celestials?
Right.
So I don't know. Also, like let's talk about these post credit scenes a little bit more. Let's talk about it. I think out of the two, I think the one with Dane Whitman was the more interesting one.
The Ebony Blade.
Which, yes, in the comics was the blade that beheaded Nowhere. Which could you imagine naming a Celestial Nowhere? That you like, who got so bored that you named them Nowhere? Sorry, little tangent. But do you think that is going to stick in MCU continuity that the Ebony Blade killed Nowhere?
Well, so Dane Whitman obviously says that his family has an interest in lineage, right? He's got an interest in, family. I could see maybe. Um, Unlikely, but maybe. And
Why do you say unlikely?
I just feel like it's just a blade that's been a part of his history and it's been on Earth, and I think it kind of ties into the character's voice we hear, which is very exciting and are probably movies I'm going to have to rewatch again. Uh, even though it's
Blade.
e- even though it's
Blade.
not part of the MCU, those the Blade movies, but
Multiverse. Everything's a part of the MCU.
Mahershala Ali voices and is going to play Blade in the Blade movie. We don't know when that's coming out exactly, but we hear him in the post-credit scene, and he says something along the lines of, "Are you ready to use that, or do you know what you're
Yeah.
doing?" Or
Are you sure you're ready to? I think it's. Are you sure you're ready to like use that sword or something like that?
right. So I think, and shout out to Soups, he had this theory, and I kind of agree with it. But Blade might have known the prior owners of that sword, and I think it Whitman talks about how his family had it, so I think it's just been in possession of Dane Whitman's family. So I doubt that it's like left Earth. It probably has cosmic origins.
I don't
Uh,
know. Okay, here's the thing: is why would you take such a big part of that sword's history in the comics away?
I don't know what's its history in the comics. I'm not sure.
Well, again, the biggest thing is it killed Nowhere. It beheaded
Right.
him.
Well,
So it's
right,
like,
but isn't it
what?
also it's Gore's sword, right?
Yeah, it's Gore. It's I think so. It's one of Gore the God Butcher swords.
Right, it's the Black Necro sword. Yeah.
You can easily say, "Oh, Dane Whitman is somehow related to Gore the God Butcher," something like
Yeah.
that. Who's to say?
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know what that'd be like is if you took Thanos and you didn't associate him with the Infinity Stones. You know how weird that would be. Like, why would you do that? That's like that's
Yeah.
like that's like the major part of Thanos in the comics. That's like the big part of the Ebony Blade and the Black Knight is that
Yeah.
he headed nowhere.
The Black Knight specifically did Dane Whitman.
I'm pretty sure who in Marvel Comics he headed nowhere. God Emperor Doom did,
Oh, it was Doom.
but he used the Ebony Blade.
Okay, so you could still do that. I guess you could be like, yeah, this guy got Emperor Doom.
Yeah, which by the way, bro, I'm sorry. You know how many people on TikTok have been saying that Wanda would still beat Doom in his God Emperor status? Like, get out of here! How? How would Wanda
Really,
defeat that guy? Wanda can't even defeat Hawkeye.
I want to.
Wanda lost
Um.
to him.
Oh, you couldn't do Doom. There's no way you could do Doom.
No. Are they even going
Now
to
that
bring Doctor Doom into the MCU? That seems like such
uh
a far stretch for any
oh
time.
that definitely definitely not the first Fantastic Four, but he'll definitely be in the MCU as a big threat. But there's kind of no way they could do Doom. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, and it's really so insignificant that like I don't care. Um, but yeah, so Blade comes in and Blade's like, "Are you
Well,
sure
hold
you're
on.
ready for this?"
I also want to say, like, when we talk about the Ebony Blade, you have to talk about the text that was above it. And it translates to your reward is death.
Right,
So, or
because the
death,
Blade's a
or,
curse.
or death is your reward. So,
The Blade's a curse.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking something up right
yeah,
now.
but I'll continue to talk about where I think this is going. So I think Dane Whitman's next appearance will probably be in the Blade movie.
Yeah.
Um, and I could very well, or they could announce a Black Knight show on Disney Plus Day. Um, but I think it's more likely that he's in the Blade movie. Um, and he has a minor role, and we just see like Blade teaching him how to use the ebony blade and um, something along those lines. And I could see Blade knowing the previous owner, because then again, we don't know how old Blade is. Blade in the comics is born in London. He could know a little bit about that sword. I'm not sure where it's going. It's fascinating. Um, I didn't know how they were going to tie Blade into all of this. So it's really interesting that they're going to tie him into Dane Whitman and the Black Knight, who's probably going to become a significant character in the MCU. I kind of want to hear your thoughts on where you think this goes with Dane Whitman and Blade.
I don't know. I mean, I think right now, as it stands, like you said, I think his next appearance is almost certainly going to be in Blade. But will we see him become the Black Knight in Blade? Who's to say? I would like to see it. I think his costume is badass in the comics, so I'd be down. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to see him suit up as the Black Knight so bad. I'll just say that. Okay.
I feel like I could see it. So, like, I could see it like his next appearance is in Blade. They train him, and then he gets his own Disney Plus show where, like, we see him become the Black Knight, become worthy of it, and then we also slowly see the. I know I was listening to Heavy Spoilers. My guy Paul, Heavy Spoilers over there, was talking about how the ebony blade like corrupts your mind, I believe.
Mm.
And I could see that with Dane. Like Dane seems like a good chill guy right now. But like to see this ebony blade corrupt his mind, make him power hungry. But also at the same time, he does good deeds at first, but we slowly start to lose him, and then maybe build that relationship with him and Blade, where in an eventual movie, Blade has to fight Dane Whitman's the Black Knight as enemies, and like if Blade gets a trilogy, his second or third movie. This is ridiculously far the line I'm talking about.
Oh
Like this
yeah.
is 7 or 8 years, but we'll see where it goes. That's where I kind of think it goes. And with that first post credit scene, Harry Styles is Eros and Thena, Makari, and Druig are all gonna go and find um, the Red Celestial there. What is his name again? Arjim? Argim?
Uh, I don't know.
I gotta look this up then. Again. Uh Arashim. Arashim. Yes. I keep getting Gilgamesh and Arashim's name like mixed up. I don't know how. Yes, Arashim. They're gonna go find him and then they're gonna fight him probably. We'll probably see Fastos again and maybe Icarus. Maybe Icarus. I think he's dead
Maybe.
though.
I don't know. I really don't want him to be dead, but I really want him to be dead at the same time. It's like really
Right,
weird.
because yeah, because his story and we haven't talked enough about this character yet. Alex, what were your thoughts on Cersei?
Ooh, um, I thought that honestly, Loki kind of underdeveloped. She did a lot of staring in the movie, a lot of like very brooding, long staring. So I really would like to see more Cersei, but in the movie, she just wasn't it for me. Wasn't a big standout for me.
Okay. I enjoyed her character. I feel like for her, well, I feel like a little bit more screen time would have been beneficial. She had a
I
lot of screen
mean,
time.
come on, dude. That sex scene was obviously super important to her character development.
I mean, it kind of is though, if you think about it. Like you gotta, which by the way, this movie, like we've seen like kisses in the MCU, but even the kisses were like longer. Like it just felt more romantic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah. Which by the way, it was like I knew it was coming, but like still jarred to see in a comic book movie. Uh,
Well, here we are, Drew. Okay, this is accept it. Okay, accept it.
yeah, yeah. But I really enjoyed Cersei's character. I really wish there was more of a dynamic between Icarus and Dane. Um, I didn't really get that. I thought that was gonna be the way they go, but I'm not disappointed with that. That whole love triangle situation there. But I wish there was a little bit more to it. I really enjoyed Cersei's character though. She loved these people, and it's really interesting how you know it would contrast between two people who love each other and their ideals, and how strongly they believe in them. Like Icarus is like, yeah, we got to carry out our mission. While Cersei's like, I love these people, and I'm gonna do what she believes is right. And then at the same time, Ajak, I know she dies, but at the same time, she's like kind of the mediator, the middle person. Like she's willing to give up Thena's memories um, to protect the rest. But Gilgamesh is like, no, it's not the same person anymore. Which, by the way, we haven't talked enough about her, but I really enjoyed Angelina Jolie and Stina in this movie. I think she's also got a really good arc with Gilgamesh and like her overcoming her like future memories like clogging her
Yeah,
mind and past memories kind of conflated. What did you think about Angelina Jolie's Thena's arc?
I gotta say she was one of the. I she was also one of the like least marketed characters of this movie. Like Angelina Jolie was not marketed properly. I thought she was fine. It was definitely interesting, like the reveal that she knew what was going to happen. She saw what happened, and they were just kind of like shutting her out. So again, I really liked her. If I had to kind of rate my current ratings of the Eternals after this movie, I would say Icarus is by far number one. Um, I'm gonna say
Fastos.
Cersei. Oh, you think Fastos is two?
Yeah, I think Fastos had a really fascinating story. Like, obviously he helped push technology along, but like I said, one of my favorite scenes in that movie was the Hiroshima one, and then to have like the child and have his own family and like realize like, oh, he's gonna die in 7 days. Like, I can't have that. Like, there's more to humanity. There are good people in humanity that are worth saving, and technology is worthy. So I really enjoyed his character arc, and I think he was obviously him and Kumail Nanjiani's Kinka was great. We'll talk about him a little bit. We haven't given him enough love, but Fastos was funny. I liked his
Mm-hmm.
power set, and he's obviously the one that helped with the Unimind to help create that. But so he's my second favorite. You
Okay.
continue with your list.
Yeah. I'll say Icarus, Cersei, Fastos, Kingo, Makari, Druig, Thena, Gilgamesh, Ajax, Bright. Am I missing
Yeah,
anyone?
no, my top eight is like I'll say this: Sprite and Ajak are definitely the two last ones. One, Ajak, I feel like kind of died too early in the movie,
Oh yeah, she got done dirty in this movie. I feel awful for
and
her.
Selma Hayek is a fantastic actor,
Yes.
actress. So like it felt. I understand they gave more back scenes with her and like background stuff, but it's like
Also,
still
yeah,
kind
if
of
you think about it, bro, the Eternals were so unfairly balanced in power. It was like not even okay. It was not okay. Like you had Superman and you had a nurse. That's it. That's Ajax versus Icarus for you.
Yeah, and Ajax was the Prime Eternal.
Yes, somehow she was deemed the most powerful Eternal. Bitch, please.
She couldn't kill people, but she could heal people. I feel like that's valuable.
Icarus could. You know, honestly, what I thought Icarus was going to do when he flew up to space? I thought he was going to laser beam, like how Vision did to Thanos, or Ultron did to Thanos. Like, fascinating. Bzzz. I just want to hear. I just always love just replaying Ultron saying that. Fascinating. Just calling the Infinity Stones fascinating.
Yeah, the top 8 is like I have a hard time ordering them, but like the top 8 are solid. They all have good arcs, and then Sprite and Ajax are like pretty lackluster.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And then the Deviants, like Crow, like should have not been in this movie at
all.
Like
Let's quickly do this. Okay, let's rank the villains of Phase 4. This is gonna be hard. Okay.
The main villains.
Yes.
Okay.
I think let's get the obvious. Winwoo's easily been the best.
Oh, easily. He's a top 7, 8 MCU villain.
I don't know. There is a bit of a debate to say that He Who Remains was better, but he was only in one episode and all he did was really like talk.
I mean, he's a menace the way he talked. And I feel
yeah.
like a lot of that is we just know Jonathan Majors is playing Kane, but if like we took it on face value, he still is the second best.
Which
he's still not great.
I rewatched that episode of Loki and that whole thing when he's calling like Sylvia a hypocrite and whatnot. I get he's saying it in like a comedic tone and whatnot, but if you honestly think about it, he's like, you think about it, she kind of is a hypocrite. Like,
right.
It is crazy, but do you want to give your rankings first, or do you want me to?
All right. So first, obviously, top Wenwu.
Okay.
Okay. Second, He Who Remains, and then it's a downhill. Do we want to count What If?
Yeah.
Okay, then third is like Ultron.
Okay. Why would we not count What If?
I don't know. Oh, we're not counting John Walker, right? He's like an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's an anti-hero.
Okay. Oh, this gets really bad. Oh my god.
Come on, dude. You still got the Flag Smashers. You got Dreykov. You got
Agatha at 4, but like a bad 4.
Yeah, I forgot about Agatha.
Okay, what's left? We still have we still have Black Widow, WandaVision, and the Eternals.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Okay. Oh my god, this is so bad.
I don't know. There is a debate. Do you count Far From Home as Phase 4?
No.
Because I'm under the impression it was supposed to be the epilogue to Phase 3.
Yeah, it's the final part of Phase 3, yeah.
Such a weird ending in Phase 3, by the way.
Right. Why didn't I just end it with Endgame? But, yeah. Okay, so it's between Dreykov.
Carly.
I don't even know who you call the main villain of Eternals.
Do you want to say Icarus?
I feel like I can't call Icarus the main villain of this movie, though. I feel like it's more of a...
But you kind of have to at the same time. He killed one of the main characters. Actually, he was kind of responsible for any main character death.
Well, if we throw Icarus in there, then he's top 3.
But then hold on. But then he kind of just kills himself at the end.
Right, yeah.
Because then he can't bring himself to kill his love.
I feel like he's more of a Wanda.
No.
More of like a...
I'm going to say because he was not marketed as a villain, I'm not going to count him as a villain.
Okay, so...
Which way can we do that? Who are some characters who weren't marketed as villains but definitely were? Can you say Tony Stark was in Civil War?
Yeah, but yeah. Okay.
because he wasn't a villain, but he was definitely being portrayed as one.
This is not even a hot take, but like pretty much I'm gonna say it. If you're watching, you don't want anything for Doctor Strange 2, plug your ears. Wanda's the main villain of that movie.
Oh, almost has to be, almost definitely.
So like, I mean, I've already said it like before. Like Wanda defenders like are the most irritated people on the planet. She's introduced
Stand
as a
still.
Nazi, and then she literally mind controls people. But she was sad. Yes,
Yeah, she
normally
was so
people who
sad.
are normally depressed either get help or don't mind control people.
Come on, Drew. She was just so sad. Come on.
Right. She was grieving
Sympathize.
over a robot. She does one thing. She
Come
fights
on, dude.
Thanos.
Her toaster was fried. Like, and you don't have any sympathy for that? I would
She
have
lost
sympathy
her
for someone.
fictional kids that she made up. It's like you grow up and you lose your imaginary friend, like you stop
Yeah.
imagining
And
them,
then
and
and
like
then you like take it then you like take your entire house hostage for it.
yeah,
It's like
it's like
no.
no.
It's awful.
Wanda
Um
needs some counseling.
yes. So okay. Are you gonna finish yours?
Yeah, so the last three are so hard because they're all so bad. I feel like I gotta put Crow last
Oh,
because he's just it's that bad.
I don't think he was that bad. I actually thought he was rather interesting with the fact that he took Ajak and Gilgamesh's powers. That's any consolation.
Okay, actually, Dracoff will go back last because he does nothing. Um, and then Crow, and oh no, I can't. Carly and then Crow.
Okay. My ranking is Wenwu at 1. Oh, damn. Who am I forgetting right now? Ultron, Carly,
He
bro. He who remains. Ooh, damn! It is such a toss up between Ultron and He Who Remains.
okay.
I'm gonna say Ultimate Ultron at number 2.
Okay, I like that pick.
Then I'm gonna say He Who Remains at 3. I'm gonna say
Agatha. I feel like Agatha is definitely better than those last three.
Agatha at 4. Carly at 5.
Yeah.
Crow at 5. Carly at 6, and then Dracov at 7.
Okay.
Because you know what I say? I say Icarus is like the taskmaster of this movie. Villain, but not the main villain.
I just have a hard time calling him a villain.
Come on, bro. I understand you sympathize with genocide, so I get that. But you got to come to your senses. Man's a villain.
So is Kinko also a villain for saying he agrees with Icarus, but just not carrying out the plan?
You know what I'm trying to? Was Kinko there in the final fight?
No, he was not. Which is hilarious to me.
Wait, he wasn't?
Nah.
Oh, oops.
Did you not pay attention?
Nope. Apparently not. I thought I saw him. Oh well.
No, you know what would have been really funny if they did the Unimind, which I wonder, like, and then they just pan to like Kinko and like India filming his movie.
The beam is so far, you got people staring up at it like, what is going on right now?
Which, by the way, his chauffeur was the best.
Yes, he was easily, bro. The fact that he was a standout character over characters like Sprite and Ajax is so sad. Which also I want to say I'm dogging on Sprite right now. Like I love the actress who played her and whatnot. Great young actor and whatnot. But goddamn, she got done dirty with the script.
Listen, it's not even that I don't mind the character. It's just like her motivation at the end is very weird, and then like her like an Icarus is odd to me. It's just like I know that Kinko mentions like, oh, you're kind of like Tinkerbell, and he's like Peter Pan, and like they can't be together, and that's what they were trying to imply. But I'm still like, That's why she went with Icarus?
Not only that, her whole thing, I just want to be a kid. Woo! Oh, yeah, you know what, Drew? I'm one of the most powerful cosmic beings in the universe, but I want to be a kid instead. Like, what? You know what I get? People like Thanos, he got all 6 Infinity Stones, snapped half the population away, and got rid of them. Why? Not because I wanted to be a farmer. No, because they left temptation. They left for someone else to do bad stuff with them, so he got rid of them. But really, I turned on you because I just wanted to be a kid. Man, shut the fuck up. I just wanted to be a kid. She's so bad in this movie. Oh my goodness.
I don't think she's that bad. I think that I only had one problem with her.
Look, you know what
I feel like you dog it on her a little too much, but that's okay.
Look, this is Sprite. You want to see what I want to do? Take her arm off. Oh.
All right, I gotta ask about Kinko because I feel like Kumail Nanjiani killed it, and I can't wait to see him in Kenobi.
He is so good in this movie. I love him so much.
Are you mental? Hide.
By the way, love the amount of cameras that man brought with him to that forest was just insane. He's like,
sir, I gotta get an action shot.
Mm-mm. And I like how Sprite was like, how many of those did you bring? He's like, you always have to bring backups.
And I love how Kinko like tries to play off that like his great grandfather. It's like a lineage of Kinkos, and it's just been the same person the whole time.
Dude, he is just so good. I was blown away by his performance.
Yeah, he was great, and he looks fantastic. Kumail like went nuts with his diet and with his exercise.
Yeah.
So he killed it, and I can't wait to see him in Kenobi. Again, I'm a little disappointed that we like didn't get to see him that final battle. It's like, yeah, I'm leaving. I do not like. I understand it. Like it makes sense. Like, but I really wish like we saw him with the Unimind.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: as far as third acts go, where does this rank for you?
Like amongst Phase 4?
Amongst any of them. Well, first of all, let's conclude Avengers Endgame has the best third act of any MCU movie.
Oh, yeah, easily. It saves that movie.
Where do you think it ranks in the MCU? And not an exact placement like, oh, I think it ranks at like 20 or whatever. Like, I think it ranks at 14. Like, do you think it's middle of the pack, top of the pack, bottom of the pack?
Middle, like upper middle.
Yeah, I'd say upper middle, near the bottom of top.
Right. So like around 10 to 14, 15.
Yeah, I'd probably say around the third act of like, Iron Man 3. Fun third act. Wasn't anything special like it was Endgame.
Oh, I think it's better than Iron Man 3's third act.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's around that area, like 14, 15-ish, 13.
And where would you put this movie?
In my current ranking, I put Shang-Chi at, I think, what did I say, like 11 or whatnot?
It might have been lower, like 13 or 14.
No. I think I said Shang-Chi was either a top 10 or 11 movie.
You've said to me that it's not a top 10 film.
Don't even. Hush.
You have.
Hush. I would probably say this is, I'd say 12.
Okay, so my top 10 is Infinity War, Guardians, Black Panther, Winter Soldier, 5, Thor Ragnarok, 6, Avengers, 7, Civil War, 8, Endgame, 9, Shang-Chi, 10 would be The Eternals.
Really?
Yes, 10 would be Eternals. Now, here's why. Great character building. Probably some of the best character building we've seen in the MCU with the amount of characters. And it's going to be my next question to you. It was kind of our question on our Eternals preview. So it's top 10, and then 11's probably Iron Man 1, Homecoming, Ant-Man, and then those middle of the pack, and then those last 5 that are awful we don't need to mention. But I
Okay.
want to kind of ask you, do you think there were too many characters in this movie?
No, I think
I agree.
I think they just didn't focus on two of them properly.
I agree.
I think this. I question the need for the sex scene and why we needed that when we could have gotten more Sprite or Ajax development.
That's fair. That's fair.
All the making out scenes, what purposes did those serve?
That's fair. That's fair. Um,
So here, hold on. If you wouldn't mind, I will share my screen to
okay.
give a hold on to do a right here. So this is the MCU tier ranking. This includes Eternals. So as you can see, this has all of them. Where is Eternals on this? Do you see Eternals on this?
I do
I see
not.
Shang-Chi. How are you going to say, look, it literally says right here, to Eternals. What? Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let's make our current tier ranking. Unfortunately, Eternals is not. Oh, I see it right here, right where my cursor is. Oh my goodness, that blended in so well. Okay, so let's go in release order. So Iron Man 1, where's Iron Man 1? There it is. Iron Man 1. Where do you think we should put Iron Man 1?
What are the tiers?
S, A, B, C, D, F.
I'd say like A or B.
I think I can make a case for B.
Okay. That's
Just it's
fine.
a good movie, but A tier is a little
I think
too
it's
much.
low A tier, but it's good
Yeah.
solid B tier. Okay.
After that is Incredible Hulk. I think we got to
F.
be honest here.
F.
Yeah. Then it's Iron Man 2.
F. Like
Yep.
lower than the Incredible Hulk.
Yep. Okay. Then it's Thor.
Yeah, it's Thor Captain America 1. D.
Yeah. Captain America First Avenger.
Oh, this is a solid B.
Really? I'm A. Come on. It's a
Okay.
I think, okay. Let's first of all, let's put aside this. What do you think since we basically know Eternals is going to get an Eternals 2. Where do you think this ranks for you currently in terms of um uh origins?
Okay, so
Like,
Black Panther and um Guardians are better.
yep.
Shang-Chi is slightly better, so 4.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
And I actually
Um
totally forgot about Captain America, the
I
first
think
Avenger, and
I
I
think
love
this.
that movie.
My
So I'm
my
gonna move
origin
Eternals to 11.
my origins is this. I'm going to say um Black Panther's the best. I'm going. Well, I don't know because technically Civil War is his origin movie.
Oh shit! Are we counting the Avengers as like an? Well, we can't say the
No,
Avengers, right? Okay.
I'm not gonna count Civil War as Black Panther's origin movie because we really get into the origin of the Black Panther in Black Panther.
Right.
So I'll say Black Panther has the best. I'll say Captain America has the second best. I'll say. Trying to think here. Ant-Man third. I think I'm going to be very in the minority of that. Shang-Chi at 4. Spider-Man at 5. Damn, this is hard. No, wait, I forgot about Guardians. What did I say was first?
I don't remember.
Black Panther, Guardians, Captain America, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Captain Marvel, Oh my god, I forgot about Doctor Strange. Fuck this. I don't care anymore. Either way, Captain America: The First Avenger is up there. After First Avenger is the Avengers. Come on.
A tier.
Drew, are you okay? Are you okay?
It's not S tier, it's A tier.
Guys, I think Drew needs help. What came after Civil War?
By the way, I kind of want to save doing this for a different time.
No, I think after every movie this is appropriate.
Okay, that's fair.
When did you want to do this? After No Way Home?
I don't know. After Phase 4, I don't know.
That's gonna be in like 4 years.
Eh,
I don't think this podcast is gonna be going for 4 more years, my guy.
who knows?
Who knows? Who's to say? What's after for the first Avengers movie? Isn't it Iron Man 3?
Iron Man 3, yeah.
You are way higher on this movie than I am, and I don't understand it.
I'd say like a high C tier or low B tier.
I'm saying C. What's after that? Is it Dark World? Or is it Winter Soldier?
I believe it's Dark World.
Where is Dark World at? There it is. Come on, where
It's
we
better.
put it?
It's better than Iron Man 2.
But not better than the Incredible Hulk?
It is better than the Incredible Hulk.
Is it better than Thor?
No, it's still in the F tier. Do not put it in. It's not better than the first Thor.
Okay. Then it's Winter Soldier. Dude, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for it. I think Winter Soldier is one of the most overrated movies of all time.
Oh, sorry, Alex left us. Alex left us. Alex has left the screen. I don't know what has happened. But here we go. Here we go. Alex is back. Alex, what happened there? You
Bro,
lost
oh
me for a
no.
second.
Captain America: The Winter Soldier somehow landed in the F tier because of that.
I don't
Oh,
know.
no.
No, I would put there's four S tier movies and Cap Winter Soldier is one of them. Or a high A tier. I don't care.
I'll put it above First Avenger.
Well, because it's a better movie.
I cannot consciously put that movie in S tier.
Okay.
Could you name me 5 reasons why this movie is better than the first Avengers movie?
5 reasons. Okay.
I can name you 5 reasons why the first Avengers movie is better than it.
Okay. I like grounded superhero movies. I think it's a great solo film. Okay. I also think it has some of the best action in the MCU still to this day. I like the darker tone better. There's 4.
There's 4.
The final act is great.
I'll give my case for the Avengers to be an S and for Winter Soldier to be an A. First of all, the first Avengers movie was one of the most groundbreaking team-up movies of all time. So that's a big point to it. It also was like easily some of the best character building for the big 3. I mean, maybe barring Thor, but even then, Black Widow still had great development in this movie. Bruce had great development in this movie. The only thing that I can really maybe give the upper edge on Winter Soldier above this is the costume design. Because, come on, bro. I'm sorry. I love the first Avengers movie, and I love Age of Ultron, but I will never be able to get over Black Widow's costume in those movies. I'm sorry. 2012 and 16 for Age of Ultron or 15? When did that movie come out?
15.
Really? Okay. Ain't no excuse that Black Widow's having these skin tight, breast revealing things. So yeah, great development towards people like Tony and Steve. I mean, honestly, it was one of the first, like, big serious things. Like, we've had somewhat team ups with like Hawkeye and Thor and whatnot. Captain America had a small like little Easter egg in Iron Man 2, was it? Yeah, this was like a big coming together of these characters, a big comic book movie, thing for these guys. But also, it's just like the pacing of the movie is so much better than a Winter Soldier. I'm never bored during the movie, but I don't know. It's a lot to go into this movie. I mean, also there's a lot of personal reason to it for me why I think it's better, and there could be personal reason why Winter Soldier's better to you, but I think we should keep it going. Where are we at right now? Winter Soldier. Then what's after Winter Soldier?
Guardians.
Is it really Guardians?
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn Guardians released in 2016.
No, 14.
That was Volume 2 that I'm thinking of. Where's Guardians at? This one. Where do you think, Drew?
S tier.
Above Avengers, or do you think below?
It's better than the Avengers movie, yes.
I gotta say, my opinion has changed, and I agree with that statement. After Guardians is Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
We'll say
C
this.
tier.
Hold on. Is it better than Iron Man 3?
I'm gonna say no.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it characterizes Thor, Iron Man.
Oh, Thor is awful in that movie. That's Thor's worst
Yeah.
Avengers movie. Thor's bad in that
Okay,
movie.
I mean, is that really anything to go off of? I think it characterizes Thor in a okay fashion in that
Tony
movie.
and Steve are the best.
Tony and Steve, Ultron was a
And
great
Clint's
villain.
good.
Clint was
good.
great. Wanda and Pietro were great.
I can't
Sorry.
say one.
Sorry, I can't forgive Joss Whedon for what he did to poor Natasha in this movie. Honestly, if you want my opinion, because of what was going on with Scarlett Johansson at the time with her being pregnant, she just shouldn't have been in the movie. Trying to think. Weirdly enough, Laura Barton had some pretty good characterization in this movie. I don't know. The only thing I don't really like is that Sam. It's weird, but I didn't like that Sam wasn't in the movie as much. Is that weird? Like Sam and Rhodey and all of them, they weren't in the movie like at all.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I'd say it's better than Iron Man 3, but not better than Iron Man 1. After Age of Ultron is Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man.
I'd say a low B tier, yeah.
What? Fine. I'll give you that. I love Ant-Man so much. I think it's better than Iron Man 1. That is just purely because I love Paul Rudd. Then it is Civil War. Come on.
A tier.
Drew. We might.
It's not S.
I might have to come through that screen and fight
it's
you.
It's not S.
I'm the Green Arrow right now. Like
I never like when superheroes fight against each other because the premise is
putting it above Winter Soldier.
It's not. You can have that opinion, but it's inaccurate.
Everybody else will tell you otherwise.
Okay, that's fair. I don't think everybody. I think a lot of people regard Winter Soldier as the best of that trilogy, but your opinion.
But I gotta say, look at that. A whole trilogy made it in one category.
Yeah, it's a good trilogy.
After Civil War, was it Guardians 2?
Might be. I don't know. I don't know when these came out.
Or was it Doctor Strange?
Oh, Strange, probably, yeah.
Well, we're going Doctor Strange next. B?
C tier?
I was gonna say low B tier, high C tier.
C. It's not okay. Wow. It's not. It's worse than those two.
You think it's worse?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Why am I agreeing to that? No way. Guardians Volume 2, very much a big step down from the first one.
C tier.
Really? I think it's low B tier.
Okay. That's fair.
Soundtrack is great. Costume design is great. Villain is okay. But yeah. And then after Guardians 2 was Spider-Man?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Like a B tier?
Yeah, I'd say probably better than Ant-Man.
Yes, I'd say yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then after Spider-Man was it really Black Panther?
I think we're going in the wrong order, but
No way.
Um,
Hold on.
it doesn't matter what order we go in. Black Panther's probably the next one, so we went in the wrong order, I think. Anyways, I think we messed up the Guardians order.
I don't know. Hold on. Marvel movie order of release.
Find it yet, or? Oh, I think Alex froze on me. Or did you freeze on me? Yeah, Alex froze on me.
Yeah, there we go. We're back.
Okay. This
Okay.
Black Panther, right?
Yeah, Black Panther, S tier.
Yeah.
Then that is Ragnarok.
A tier.
Yep. Better than First Avenger.
Yes.
Better than Winter Soldier.
No.
Okay. I'll let you have that invalid opinion. Infinity War.
S tier.
Yep.
Top S. Top S. It's the
You think?
best Marvel movie.
Okay, I'll put it there. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Below Thor.
Yeah, very rough movie. Captain Marvel.
It's in that D tier as well.
Yep, I would agree. Avengers Endgame.
A.
Yeah, the problem that I have with Endgame is this. Let's be real. The first act, what's interesting about it?
First two acts are fantastic. The third act saves that film.
I'll say this. The first act is trash. The second act is entertaining. The third act is amazing.
Definitely.
Black Widow.
Far From Home.
Wait, where's Far From Home isn't on here? Well, they got No Way Home and Far From Home, so No Way Home is going to be our Far From Home.
Oh, No Way Home was S tier. No, I'm joking. Far From Home.
Better than Infinity War.
The Far From Home is, I would say like that B tier, like low B, high C.
Okay. Black Widow.
C. Probably that C tier, like below.
I think better than Doctor. No.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
Okay, I gotta think. So I think Shang-Chi's. I'm gonna say high B, low A.
I'm gonna go low A.
Okay, that's fair.
Now the most current movie,
B.
Eternals.
High B though. It's better than all those B movies we have.
Really? I don't think it's better than Iron Man.
I do.
Okay. So this is our current tier list of
combined
movies.
We should save that until Morbius. Well, that shit. That
I'm
Morbius
not watching Morbius.
Morbius is not an MCU film, anyways. We'll save it until. Oh, that's right. I was thinking in my head like the
Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange was the next MCU film, but it's not.
Nope.
Which is funny, Alex. It's No Way Home, and then we get a 6-month break.
Honestly, kind of like that.
Yeah, because we're going to be insanely busy that first half of the year with Star Wars stuff.
Well, not only that, I'm just kind of like superheroed out right now.
I would feel that way if this was a formulaic Marvel movie, but Eternals was different enough and a breath of fresh air that, like, I did feel like I was watching a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, but I don't got anything else to say about it. Oh, I will say it's ranks 11th. I hate ranking these MCU movies because I have a hard time doing it. There's so many.
Yeah.
And
you gotta take in so many variables.
I'm gonna give it. I gave Shang-Chi like a 9 or like an 8.5. I'll give Eternals an 8.
I'll give Eternals a 7.75.
Okay, that's fair. And where do you put it? Like around the 15 range or like a little
around 14, 13.
Okay.
I think I've really rethought. I don't know, but it is so hard because
this movie's dense.
We have to take in Venom and all that just got added to the MCU. So it's just like, what are we gonna do about that? But I'm thinking base MCU, like no multiverse stuff right now. Yeah, I'd say about middle. I think this is a good upper middle of the pack movie.
Okay, and there's a couple more questions I have. Do you see how the critics had this as a 51? Because I don't.
No,
I have a
I
hard
don't
time
see it.
seeing it.
I understand to a degree the critics of Ajax and Sprite, but that does not drag this movie down, and Crow, but that does not drag this movie down to a 51.
No, and I said that's the reason I said I could understand it. The third act, I know some people really didn't like it, so like I could see that, or it's maybe just a superhero fatigue thing that got to the critics. I'm not really sure on that. And
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie. I enjoyed myself. I thought it was worth $20 I paid for the tickets.
yeah, I agree. It's one of those movies where I'm like, I have to see it again because it's dense.
It
It has
is.
a lot. It feels longer than 2.5 hours. Does that feel weird to say because of how much was going on?
I gotta see something really fast. I need to log into Disney Plus just really quick
Okay, but
because this movie felt long. It felt really, really, really
it
long.
did. But everything you like, it felt like you had to watch everything. Like there wasn't. I never felt like, oh, the movie's dragging. Like I felt that with Shang-Chi a little bit. This movie, I never felt the drag.
Well, here's my thing, okay? Black Panther is 2 hours and 17 minutes. So just what, 20 minutes longer than Black Panther?
Yeah,
I did not feel a single bit of drag in that movie.
I didn't feel drag in this movie, but like
Oh,
every
I
scene
did.
felt. I didn't feel drag. I just felt the scenes were really long but impactful. Like Black Panther's just short though. It's just like comes at you.
Yeah.
Eternals is drag. It doesn't drag. It just feels long,
I'll,
elongated.
I'll say this, okay? You know, I really think that. Oh, what the hell? Sorry, I'm on the Disney Plus page right now, and under the Loki tab is What If. Is that because he makes an appearance in it?
I have
That's
no idea.
that's actually like a okay. Yeah, but I think just right now I would say that I don't know. I would need a rewatch. I would definitely need it, and I definitely needed it for Black Widow, and I would say it definitely improved my thoughts of the movie. But I don't know, it didn't improve it so much.
Okay, I have a meme to share before we sign off. This is
Oh
the funny
boy,
meme I literally just found on Twitter like 2 seconds ago. Here we go.
this is my contribution to
It's
marketing.
not it's not your fault. They're identical. Look at them.
I know. Come on. Who?
Yes.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it in the comics how they're brothers, but here we are.
I mean, Thanos looks like a cutie in that, but like, I
Oh
mean,
my goodness. Stop.
um, yeah, that's it for. Do you got anything else to say? Because I've kind of expressed all my thoughts.
1 hour and 33 minutes later, we've done enough.
Okay, that's fair. All right, guys, thank you for watching episode 3 of our movie reviews. We reviewed the Eternals today, talked all about it. We re-ranked or ranked or whatever. We've
Tier
ranked the
list.
movies a lot. We did a tier list of all the movies. We'll probably do a post every single MCU film. The next film review from us will be Spider-Man No Way Home, and then Alex will be doing Morbius. I will force him to come onto this podcast to do it.
No, you won't.
Well, I'll do it by myself then.
Shit.
Yeah. So we'll be back Wednesday for a Disney Plus preview. I'm super excited. And then next Friday, I'll be live, probably starting around 10, 11 a.m. And then Alex might hop in at some point or text me his thoughts as Disney Plus Day is going on. So we'll see you all next time. Peace.